When people imagine time travel, they immediately picture a glowing DeLorean. Hollywood insists that this journey requires crazy science and nuclear power. The reality is much simpler and directly wired into your head. You never needed an eccentric scientist to observe the ancient past. Do you realize your vision constantly bends the rules of time? Every upward glance actually transports you backward through deep cosmic history. The profound truth is that we are always looking firmly into yesterday. Your human eyes are the only true time machines you will possess. Meet Alex, a young man living in the chaotic heart of Brooklyn. He is standing completely alone on a rusted metal fire escape. Below him, the bustling city pulses with a relentless, exhausting energy. Neon signs continuously flicker against the damp pavement of the streets. The distant wail of a police siren sharply pierces the dark night. This is the modern American dream, loud and incredibly overwhelming for everyone. Alex carries the crushing daily weight of a massive student debt. Every blinking street lamp constantly reminds him of bills waiting to be paid. His reality is defined by this immediate, artificial, and glowing present. Everything around him demands his anxious attention at this exact second. But then, he slowly tilts his head and looks straight up. Beyond the blinding city lights, a few stars faintly glimmer above. They sit up there completely silent and perfectly, terrifyingly still forever. It is a profound psychological contrast to the chaos down below. The sprawling city loudly screams about the future and its endless demands. The stars, however, do not care about his unpaid student loans. They offer a strange, silent comfort in the cold urban night. Why do these distant lights feel so entirely detached from us? Are they really sharing this exact quiet moment with him now? Here is where it actually gets quite deeply fascinating for us. Alex genuinely thinks he is looking at the sky right now. He assumes the vast universe is sharing this present moment with him. We all naturally believe that human vision is an instantaneous physical process. When you look at a neon sign, it feels entirely immediate. The artificial light from the street lamp hits your eyes almost instantly. Because the distance is short, the visual delay is completely unnoticeable today. You are essentially living your life in the absolute, exact present tense. But what exactly happens when we look at the grand cosmic scale? Light is incredibly fast, but it is not infinitely fast anywhere. It always has a strict physical speed limit across the dark vacuum. Therefore, it takes physical time to cross these massive cosmic distances. Those faint stars above Brooklyn are many trillions of miles away. Their light must travel across a cold, empty, and perfectly silent void. It journeys through deep space long before it finally reaches planet Earth. So, is Alex really seeing those stars as they currently are? The truth is, he is completely disconnected from their actual present. The universe simply does not allow us to see things right now. Every single star he observes is entirely trapped in the distant past. He is standing in the frantic reality of modern-day America. Yet his eyes are physically interacting with an ancient, silent history. The light hitting his retina was born in a completely different era. It traveled while he was struggling, while human civilization was quietly evolving. This is the quiet tragedy and profound beauty of our human existence. We are surrounded by a universe we can never actually physically touch. How much time has actually passed for that distant bright starlight? A young man drowning in the intense anxieties of today looks up. He is constantly being bathed in a faint glow from long ago. The flashing neon sign below him is brightly burning in the present, but the dark sky above him is just playing a recorded tape. He is essentially staring into a massive, glowing cosmic museum forever. The disconnect between his present life and the cosmic past is staggering. Now, listen carefully to what this really means for his own reality. Let us look back at young Alex on that rusty fire escape. He tilts his head upward to find the brightest star. That brilliant diamond hanging low in the sky is Sirius. It shines with a piercing blue and white cosmic intensity. When Alex stares at that star, his brain assumes something. He naturally believes he is seeing Sirius in this exact moment. Our human intuition tells us that vision is completely instantaneous. You open your tired eyes and the universe simply appears. But the physical universe does not play by human rules. Now listen carefully, because this changes your entire perspective completely. Light is the absolute fastest thing in our entire universe. It travels at a staggering speed through the endless vacuum. However, the distances between celestial bodies are truly beyond comprehension. Sirius is located approximately 8.6 light-years away. What does that scientific measurement actually mean for our friend? It means that light spent over 8 years traveling here. Those specific photons just arrived at his tired retinas tonight. He is not seeing the star as it exists today. Let us translate that cosmic distance into a human timeline. Think about who you were exactly 8 years ago tonight. For a young guy like Alex, that is a lifetime. That light began its long journey during his freshman year. He was probably stressing over his very first high school prom. He was renting an oversized tuxedo and buying a corsage. He was nervously gripping the steering wheel in driving class. He was just a clueless kid trying to navigate adolescence. That young version of Alex feels like a different person. While that teenager fumbled through awkward high school dances, something happened. A massive fusion reaction in Sirius violently expelled a photon. That tiny packet of energy immediately shot out into the dark. When Alex finally graduated and threw his cap, what happened? That same light was silently crossing the freezing interstellar void. As he moved into his tiny college dorm room, it continued. The photon kept flying while he worried about his student debt. It flew through space while he experienced his first real heartbreak. Here is where it gets interesting for our existential dreamer. When that starlight hits his eyes on the fire escape, something clicks. The cold universe forces him to touch his forgotten past. He is literally looking backward in time to his teenage years. The star acts as a cosmic mirror reflecting a younger era. That glowing dot is tied to his awkward prom night memories. It holds the same age as his first driving license. Does he realize the star shows him a dead timeline? This creates an incredibly strange and beautiful personal paradox for him. We always think of the beautiful stars as ancient and eternal. We disconnect their vast history from our own fleeting little lives. But that specific beam of light from Sirius is quite different. It is deeply woven into the timeline of his American youth. It connects a distant blue sun directly to a high school gymnasium. The physical cosmos suddenly feels much more personal and nostalgic. It makes you wonder about other lights in the dark sky. What other forgotten memories are hiding in those distant glowing dots? Every single star you see represents a different chapter of your life. When you look upward, you are gazing into a personal time machine. You are not just observing the vast and empty physical space. You are making direct eye contact with the ghost of your past. That high school kid getting his license still exists in that light. The teenage anxiety and prom night excitement are preserved in the journey. So what happens when we look even further into the deep night? If Sirius shows us high school, what do the fainter stars reveal? We are about to take a much larger step into the dark. We must push beyond the comforting glow of our closest stellar neighbors. The night sky holds secrets that stretch far beyond a single lifetime. If you think 8 years is a long trip, brace yourself now. We are leaving the realm of human memory to find older ghosts. What lies hidden in the darkest corners of the silent Milky Way? Let us push past the absolute boundaries of our short human lifespans. Look slightly higher into the dark sky and find the famous constellation Orion. Those glowing dots are not just friendly neighbors hovering a few years away. But here is where it actually gets profoundly interesting for our universal story. We are now zooming out far beyond your nostalgic high school prom memories. We are stepping directly into the terrifying well of ancient human history. Consider the majestic, bright blue supergiant star named Rigel in the foot of Orion. It sits roughly 860 light-years away from our home planet. How ancient is the light hitting the eyes of Alex on that fire escape? The photons hitting your retina tonight actually began their incredible cosmic journey long ago. They departed from that massive star during the middle of the 12th century. That means this specific light was already traveling through the freezing void of space. Let us put this staggering cosmic timeline into a highly specific American context. That beam of light had already been flying through the pitch-black galaxy. It flew for centuries before Christopher Columbus sailed toward the Americas. It was rushing past dead planets long before the first colonial settlements. Are you starting to grasp the sheer magnitude of this historical time delay? The visual information you receive now is essentially an ancient historical broadcast. Now turn your attention to another famous star located right on the belt. Al-Nilam is positioned roughly 2,000 light-years away from our little planet. What exactly was happening on Earth when that particular beam left its home? This light predates the signing of the Declaration of Independence by an eternity. It predates the original 13 colonies and the entire concept of the nation. When that light began its journey, the Roman Empire was still fiercely expanding. You are basically staring directly into an era of gladiators and ancient emperors. Every single time you look up at these distant stars in the city, you are not observing a static painting hung across the dark night sky. You are walking through an invisible museum of human history captured in light. Some beams left when ancient native tribes first walked across the American plains. Other beams departed while the founding fathers were still drafting their revolutionary documents. The sky above Brooklyn is merely a composite image of many different eras. This cosmic time machine completely shatters our standard perception of the present moment. You think you are standing in the modern world of neon and noise, yet your eyes are actively soaking in a prehistoric reality from the cosmos. We are essentially reading a cosmic history book written in glowing photon streams. The universe simply refuses to show us what is happening right this second. It only allows us to watch the faded ghosts of a distant past. Let us completely flip the entire cosmic narrative upside down for a brief second. Imagine that we are not the lonely observers desperately scanning the dark night sky. What if someone else is actively looking right back at us from the abyss? Enter Xylax, a brilliant but chronically exhausted alien scientist working the lonely graveyard shift. He lives on a rocky exoplanet located exactly 65 million light-years away from Earth. His highly advanced civilization rests somewhere deep within the sprawling, magnificent Virgo supercluster. Xylax is currently peering through an unimaginably powerful, planet-sized extraterrestrial telescope searching for cosmic neighbors. This massive optical device makes our celebrated James Webb look like a cheap plastic toy. He is desperately searching the endless cosmic void for any undeniable signs of technological intelligence. Are there other advanced technological species scattered across this cold, incredibly vast milky darkness? Is his lonely, highly evolved civilization the only conscious observer in the entire universe? He slowly sweeps his advanced lenses across millions of completely dead, totally silent solar systems. Finally, his sophisticated orbital instruments rigidly lock onto a tiny, pale blue dot orbiting a yellow dwarf. Now listen carefully, because this specific physical limitation changes the entire philosophical perspective completely. Xylax is looking directly at our Earth at this exact precise moment in human time. But you must remember the brutal, unbreakable speed limit of the universe we discussed earlier. The light currently entering his massive telescope left our planet exactly 65 million years ago. He is obviously not seeing the Earth as it exists on this current, bustling Tuesday. He's witnessing a literal ghost image of our distant, incredibly violent, untamed prehistoric past. Xylax carefully calibrates his complex optical sensors and zooms heavily on the North American continent. He is specifically hunting for undeniable techno-signatures of a thriving, modern, incredibly advanced spacefaring civilization. He genuinely wants to see vast electrical grids aggressively illuminating the dark side of the globe. He hopes to detect the distinct chemical smog of heavy industrial manufacturing trapped in the atmosphere. Surely, a rocky planet this incredibly rich in liquid water must harbor some brilliant, capable engineers. What exactly is this brilliant alien scientist hoping to stumble upon in his lonely galactic search? Perhaps he genuinely expects to see the long, beautifully stretching asphalt ribbon of iconic Route 66. He might be intensely looking for the perfectly calculated geometric concrete structure of the massive Pentagon. Maybe his advanced sensors are quietly scanning for the International Space Station orbiting the upper atmosphere. He would probably be thrilled to catch the blinding, chaotic neon glow of Times Square piercing the night. Any of these distinct American achievements would definitively prove that highly intelligent life proudly exists here. But the real secret is that cosmic timing is an incredibly cruel and hilarious joke. The crystal-clear image finally resolving on his glowing alien monitor contains absolutely zero human achievements. He sees no sprawling concrete jungles, no glowing smartphones, and certainly no sleek commercial airplanes flying around. Instead, his highly advanced lenses reveal the ancient, sweltering, completely unbroken prehistoric terrestrial green jungles. These massive, incredibly humid green canopies completely cover the entire massive landmass we now proudly call Montana. He intensely focuses his sophisticated alien optics on a muddy clearing near a massive winding river. There are absolutely no bustling coffee shops or crowded metropolitan subway stations anywhere in his sight. Instead, a massive, bipedal reptilian apex predator suddenly steps heavily into the humid, overgrown forest clearing. It is a terrifying, fully grown Tyrannosaurus Rex, silently stalking its oblivious, peacefully grazing dinosaur prey. The giant beast lets out a silent, brutal roar that perfectly illustrates a savage, completely untamed wilderness. The great human story of modern triumph and daily struggle has not even begun to be written yet. All of our modern anxieties, our crushing student loans, and our towering glass skyscrapers simply do not exist. We are completely and utterly invisible to the most advanced scientific civilization in the known universe. Our most complex technological achievements are currently just silent, unformed potential locked deep in primitive mammalian DNA. How exactly does an alien genius realistically react to seeing a giant angry lizard screaming in a swamp? Xylax sighs deeply in absolute, crushing disappointment at the wildly primitive prehistoric scene unfolding before him. He physically slumps over his incredibly complex, glowing control panel in pure, unfiltered, highly stressful academic frustration. This beautiful pale blue dot is apparently just another wild, chaotic rock filled with totally mindless beasts. He slowly reaches for his glowing digital logbook to instantly record his official scientific observational findings. With a swift, heavily dismissive motion, he definitively categorizes our beloved homeworld in the massive galactic database. He quickly types out a brutally short, deeply dismissive final report about the entire North American continent. Abundant liquid water and breathable oxygen, but dominated entirely by giant, totally brainless, aggressively violent terrestrial reptiles. He officially flags our entire pristine solar system as a complete and utter evolutionary biological dead end. Absolutely no intelligent life forms found on this humid rock, permanently skipping observations to the next planetary target. And just like that, the alien genius completely ignores humanity entirely simply because of a massive cosmic delay. If you really think about it, this physical limitation creates a truly terrifying reality. The universe absolutely forbids any of us from experiencing a shared present moment. We are forever trapped in our own perfectly isolated bubbles of flowing time. Every single distant star you look at is completely out of sync with us. There is absolutely no universal clock ticking at the exact same moment everywhere. We are fundamentally denied the comforting illusion of a synchronized cosmic neighborhood. How can we ever realistically connect with anyone across this vast spatial ocean? The sheer terrifying scale of space forces every civilization to remain completely isolated. Imagine watching your favorite gaming streamer during a massive live event on Twitch. You are heavily invested in the incredibly tense final moments of the match. You excitedly type a rapid message into the wildly chaotic live chat box. But the stream is suffering from a massive, unbelievably frustrating broadcast connection lag. By the time the streamer actually sees your enthusiastic, supportive comment, everything is over. The thrilling digital battle has already ended many long hours ago in reality. You are basically screaming into a completely disconnected void of outdated digital information. The universe operates exactly like a heavily buffering YouTube live stream that never catches up. Here is where it gets incredibly interesting regarding our search for extraterrestrial life. This massive cosmic delay perfectly explains why the night sky seems so silent. We are constantly searching for advanced civilizations, broadcasting their exact current technological achievements. But the merciless laws of physics only allow us to clearly see ancient history. They might be desperately waving at us right now from a distant galaxy. We simply cannot see their frantic signals because the light is still traveling. Are we destined to constantly miss each other in this massive cosmic dance? We are permanently stuck watching the incredibly boring reruns of the early universe. Think about the crushing anxiety of sending a deeply emotional mobile text message. You anxiously watch the smartphone screen until that little read receipt finally appears. Now imagine that agonizing waiting period stretched out over millions of silent years. The universe is essentially a massive, incredibly slow messaging network connecting lonely planets. We are boldly sending our radio signals out into the dark galactic void. But any potential alien recipient will not get the notification for many millennia. By the time they finally send a response, human civilization might be completely gone. We are just leaving desperate voicemails on answering machines that nobody is checking. Suppose two incredibly advanced civilizations finally discover each other through their massive telescopes. They joyfully celebrate the profound realization that they are not alone in space. But their joyous celebration is based entirely on a beautiful, long-dead optical illusion. The civilization they are currently admiring probably collapsed thousands of long generations ago. We are hopelessly exchanging cheerful greetings with the long-deceased ghosts of the galaxy. This fundamental universal speed limit forces a profound sense of existential cosmic dread. Every single traveling beam of light carries the tragic burden of absolute loneliness. We are entirely surrounded by potential neighbors we can never actually speak to. The stunning night sky is just a massive museum filled with beautifully outdated portraits. No intelligent civilization can ever truly share a meaningful present moment with another. We are all just shouting into the endless darkness, completely deaf to everyone. Do you finally understand how tragically isolating this physical reality truly is? We are permanently locked inside a beautifully decorated prison of heavily delayed light. Let us return to Alex on that rusted Brooklyn fire escape tonight. He rubs his tired eyes against the harsh glow of city neon. The realization of this cosmic delay finally begins to sink in deeply. He is not looking at a vibrant and actively living universe above. He is staring deeply into an ancient and perfectly frozen physical past. Every twinkling point of light is just a severely delayed historical echo. The majestic sky above New York is fundamentally a massive optical illusion. This brings us to a terrifying physical paradox about our own existence. Think about the violently chaotic nature of our vast and expanding universe. Stars are constantly burning out and collapsing across the dark Milky Way. Massive supernova explosions complete the entire solar systems almost every single day. When a distant shining star finally dies, its light emission simply stops. However, that final desperate pulse of light must still travel toward Earth. It must cross those unimaginable distances through the cold and silent void. The dark, infinite space between us creates an absolutely massive time lag. Therefore, the actual death of a star is completely hidden from humanity. We simply will not ever know about it for many thousands of years. Now listen carefully, because this specific realization changes everything you currently know forever. Americans constantly look up at the dark night sky for comfort and hope. People often stand in open Midwestern fields to wish upon a bright star. They earnestly pray under the beautifully sparkling canopy of the vast quiet heavens. We foolishly believe those glowing celestial bodies are permanent and stable physical fixtures. We confidently map our entire human lives around their supposed eternal structural stability. But the deeply unsettling truth of physics completely shatters that romantic human illusion. Many of those brilliantly shining stars might not actually even exist anymore today. Why does the universe allow such a massive and persistent visual deception here? Right at this exact present second, a famous bright star could violently explode. It could have been completely obliterated into floating cosmic dust just yesterday afternoon. Yet, its ancient traveling light is still faithfully zooming toward the planet Earth. That phantom beam will continue hitting our human eyes every single dark night. We will continue to safely see it shining brightly above our silent homes. We will study its patterns and write beautiful romantic poems about its glow. Countless generations of humanity will peacefully pass away beneath its fake lingering light. It is essentially a deeply profound visual lie told by the cosmos itself. Here is where it gets interesting and also profoundly unsettling for our minds. The beautiful night sky you see tonight is essentially a massive cosmic graveyard. You are simply admiring the lingering visual ghosts of long-dead distant suns. Their actual physical bodies vanished from the expanding universe a millennium ago now. Only their final desperate visual messages are still successfully crossing the dark void. It is exactly like reading a beautiful handwritten letter from someone already deceased. The traveling light simply refuses to let their fading memory completely pass away. But eventually that final solitary photon will hit our earthly atmosphere tomorrow night. Then the majestic star will abruptly vanish from our visible sky forever quietly. How many of our favorite celestial constellations are already completely physically gone today? This inevitable physical delay turns our entire reality into a severely delayed broadcast. Alex suddenly realizes he is totally and hopelessly isolated in the current moment. The cold universe strictly forbids him from ever seeing the true present reality. He is permanently trapped behind a massive veil of ancient traveling stellar light. The distant stars he desperately wishes upon might be completely gone by now. Our basic human connection to the wider cosmos is fundamentally and permanently broken. We can only ever meaningfully interact with the silent fading ghosts of history. The actual present moment of the grand universe is permanently locked away forever. What if the entire galaxy is already completely empty and dark right now? Stephen Hawking once mathematically proved that mysterious black holes eventually erase physical information. But this inescapable cosmic visual delay creates a much more terrifying existential paradox. The true present information is not physically erased, it is just perpetually delayed. We are biologically forced to live inside a massive universe of beautiful illusions. Every single time you casually look up, you must face this chilling reality. The majestic glowing heavens above might actually be incredibly dark and empty now. The comforting blanket of distant stars is just a painfully delayed cosmic memory. Are you actually looking at the real glowing stars shining brightly tonight forever? Or are you just viewing the beautiful portrait of a long dead universe?